Now, stop me if you've heard this one, but I want to talk to you once again about 3D, the gift that just keeps giving. As you probably know, I've gone on at some length about the fact that I have a problem with 3D, and I don't think that it adds to cinema. But I had an interesting case recently. I've just seen Toy Story 3D.
Psst. Hey, hello, hi, excuse me. Shh. Can you tell me where I am?
Shh. The guy's just asking a question.
Well, excuse me. I'm trying to stay in character.
My name's Buttercup. You've met Baron von Schusch.
Shh.
Hello, I'm Trixie.
Shh. Guys, look, I don't know where I am.
We're either in a cafe in Paris or a coffee shop in New Jersey. I'm pretty sure I just came back from the doctor with life-changing news.
We do a lot of improv here.
And as you may know, the Toy Story 1 and 2 were retrofitted into 3D. They were made in 2D, and then they had the 3D sort of artificially imposed them. But Toy Story 3D is designed in 3D. And I watched the film, and as I put the 3D glasses on, I had that sinking feeling, oh, here we go, 3D, headache, boring, blah, blah, blah. But as the movie progressed, something interesting happened. I kind of forgot that I was watching the film in 3D. I forgot that I was looking through clunky glasses. I just got involved in the film. I love the characters, I love the story, I love the fact that there's so much horror movie elements in it. I love the fact that it's a Toy Story movie, and they're always made so well. Now, an interesting thing, in the press notes, Bob Whitehall, who is the 3D supervisor for Toy Story 3D, says this: the 3D feels so natural. In some ways, it's like a stage play when you're looking into this world. With Toy Story, the 3D group has learned to push things a little bit more, so it's not really evident to the audience. They're experiencing more dimensionality and more robust depth, but it's done in such a graceful manner that it feels very natural and reserved. Concludes by saying, I just hope as moviegoers leave the theater, they're thinking, wow, what an amazing film experience. We laughed, we cried, we were scared, we were moved. And then, maybe by the time they get to their car, they say, and how about that 3D? Now, here's the thing that I can't quite decide. Was the fact that I forgot that Toy Story 3 was in 3D a good thing? Or was it, in fact, a demonstration of what I've always said, which is, you know what? If you watch it in 2D, it's every bit as involving. John Lasseter, who of course began the whole Toy Story thing, is the great fan of Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder, and suggested that what he's tried to do is to get his animation and his animation team to reproduce the effect of Dial M for Murder, in which, again, he cites it being like a stage play. But wouldn't it just work if the film was in 2D in the first place? More importantly, wouldn't the film in 2D be kind of brighter? And into this debate, I'd like to bring you an authority on the subject of brightness. Listen to what Christopher Nolan has to say about 3D and, remember this phrase, foot-lamberts. Speaking to the Los Angeles Times, Nolan says, and pay attention here, the truth of it is when you watch a film in here, in a cinema, you're looking at 16 foot-lamberts. When you watch through any of the conventional 3D processes, you're giving up 3 foot-lamberts, a massive difference. Now, a foot-lambert, I'm sure you'll be thrilled to know, is defined as a unit of luminance. A foot-lambert equals 3.4262591 candelas per square meter units, and you can look up candelas for yourself. Nolan goes on to say that you're not aware of the massive difference because once you're in the world, your eye compensates. But having struggled for years to get theaters to get up to the proper brightness, we're not sticking polarized filters in everything. On a technical level, it's fascinating, but on an experiential level, I find the dimness of the image extremely alienating. So essentially what Nolan is saying is, this is what cinema should look like, but 3D cinema looks like this. Crucially, despite these very well-argued reservations, Nolan has not ruled out doing the next Batman movie in 3D. And in fact, he says specifically, if the audience wants stereoscopic imaging, that's what the studios will be doing, and that's what I will be doing. And that, in a sense, is my problem. The idea that the audience want stereoscopic movies is something that I think has been foisted upon them. I think audiences want 3D movies at the moment because the studios have told them to want 3D movies. I think it's significant that the 3D movie I like the best is Toy Story 3D, a movie in which I actually forgot that I was watching it in 3D. And if that's the case, then what's the point of watching it in 3D? Now, I concede that I am moving slightly on this because I didn't believe it was possible to watch a film in 3D and genuinely forget that that's what you were doing. That is an incremental movement. But I am still worried by a world in which filmmakers like Christopher Nolan so carefully explain what the problem with 3D is, yet still feel duty-bound to give you an image that doesn't look like this, but like this.